Alright, so here I am with the chat server. I'm going to show what exactly I changed, and then I'm going to display exactly how it works. Alright, so these are some of the main differences. I imported the Java IO exception library. I also created a array of strings for my strong language. I only use 3 words. I use bad, cool, and dude. And then I also created an array of strings for my taboo language. I use sex, politics, and religion. I could have added the lowercase versions on here as well, and that's something to be considered. But, you know, for testing purposes, I kept it to these 3 and worked just fine. I'm going to scroll down now, and inside of the dispatch message function, I added 2 different for each loops. The first one is checking to make sure that it's going to check the strong language array, and it's going to check to see if it equals any of the words inside of there equals message, the message that the dispatch message function is grabbing. And then if it does, it shuts down the socket for the client info, which ends up shutting down the actual client. Pretty much disconnects it from the server. And then the other for each loop is for the taboo words. And so if the taboo equals the message, it prints out this error, and then it exits out the system, which effectively shuts down the server, and then as a side effect also shuts down the client. It loses its connection to the server, which is what you'd want to see when that happens. That's the only main changes. I obviously made it to where dispatch message throws an IO exception. And now I'm going to show exactly how it works. I'm going to start up the chat server. See, the chat server started on port 2002, and then I'm going to start up the chat client. Alright, we're connected to the server. Let's test it out. Oh, hello. So it's working just fine. Let's go ahead and test it with one of the strong language words. We'll go ahead and use cool. And there we go. We can see that the word did not repeat itself also with the IP and port information, and that the client has been terminated. So that was the one thing that I figured out as I was going through this, that, you know, I could not actually see the termination. We can see by going to the other console that the chat server is still running just fine. There's no problems with it, and I'll display that by restarting the chat client, typing it in, and bam, there we go. Server works. So now let's try one of the taboo words. And there we go. Connection to server broken. It actually shuts down and terminates the chat client. And then if we check over, oh, the chat server is also, its server is shutting down, and it's also been terminated. So I feel like that is solved the homework issue, and there you go.